So this will be a good week to show because I'm like starting a unit from the beginning and then teaching through. And so if the ED made the D sound, I colored it green, Ed was blue, and I'm praying that the storm does not impact our area. But I'd ignore the giant tripod, but here's the outfit of the day: the Hobby Lobby tee, the Old Navy high-waisted white leg jeans. Happy Monday. Ooh, this camera. My name is Katie and I am a third grade teacher in the state of Florida, and you are here for a week in my teacher life. All right, you guys, you can't really tell by my table because there's already so much junk everywhere, but I stayed really late last Friday, like making sure I had all my ducks in a row for this morning, and I do feel pretty put together, but there were a couple things that I wanted to show you guys before I like put them completely away that I brought in this morning. And I'll go over my plans with you guys. Last week I did a day in my life vlog and I took you along for Pirate Day. So that's why I had to stay so late on Friday, because I think last week I was just in survival mode and I was just trying to make it through Pirate Day. And I did. We made it through and it was so fun. But then Friday I was like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing next week. It's kind of a great time to join in because we're starting a brand new skill. So I kind of need to change like my chart. I'm looking up here and I'm like, I need to take some of these things down off of my ELA board and maybe start something new. But what was I gonna say? It's too early to be losing my train of thought. Oh, but we're starting like a brand new like little mini unit of study because we finished our unit or our section on fiction text. We've done plot and setting, theme, analyzing characters. So now we're moving on to text features, which is right here. So we're moving to informational text, which if you watch my pirate vlog, I started introducing informational text to my students. So this will be a good week to show because I'm like starting a unit from the beginning and then teaching through, but it's also a crazy busy week. We have a literacy night tonight that I'm not able to attend because I have Bible study on Monday nights, but it should be really good. We have picture day on Wednesday. I have a practicum student starting in my classroom on Wednesday. And then Friday is Rock Your School Day. It's also Go Gold to support and raise funds for childhood cancer. We're also gonna have Kona Ice. It's like a PTO thing. They're having Kona Ice come a couple different times during the school year, and the first one on Friday. And then also right now the state of Florida is keeping an eye on a tropical storm that's out and is supposed to hit the Gulf of Mexico. So Thursday and Friday we could have crazy weather, and sometimes that means school delays or school could be canceled or just in general just craziness because it's going to be raining. So I'm like, yay, this is going to be a fun week. But that's just kind of a glimpse of what weeks look like in general in elementary school, like especially in September and October. October, I feel like I might have a little lull, but September has just been like boom, 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 something every week. And I can't wait to get a little bit of rest, but we're just not there yet. So we're hanging on. Fun thing that I got this weekend, this was from a YouTube subscriber. It did not have a name on the note, but I got a new pencil sharpener. I'm so excited. My teammate, Catty Corner to me, has this one, and she said it's like a robot. It's like you put the pencil in, it goes, and that it's incredible. Mine that I swear by, my X-Acto, has been doing really, really great. It's been a little bit iffy lately because I sharpened some of those pencils that have like the plastic wrap around them for back to school when I was making like student meet the teacher gifts, and one of them got jammed. Like the plastic wrap got jammed in there, and David took it apart and it's still working okay, but I feel like it hasn't been quite up to its like A game since then. So I put this one on my wish list because I was like, I could always use, like, you know, if this one breaks, I'm gonna need a new pencil sharpener. And so thank you to whoever got this for me because I am like so excited to try it out. Maybe I'll try it this afternoon and I'll show it in the vlog. But pencil sharpeners are always a must. And honestly, I take really great care of mine because I've had that one for about 4 years now. And it's still doing okay, but I was just kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have sharpened those pencils in it. I know better, but I didn't realize they were getting caught when I was sharpening it. So, and I don't let students use them either. Pencil sharpeners are mine because I like to take care of them. So that's pretty exciting. I wanted to share that with you. Also this weekend, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to open it later though because I can't open this can of worms right now. Also this weekend, I wanted to show you, I put together like a bunch of intervention stuff, and I was gonna put it in my lovely intervention binder, which I've shown before, but I don't wanna show the front page because it's got student names on it. But I have calendar to record when I teach intervention. I have sticky notes on this side of the cover that have different topics and who needs to go back over that topic. So for example, we taught theme, and I have a list of 4 friends that I'm like, I need to go back and do a theme lesson with them again, just to really solidify it, because I don't think they got it the first time. And then last year I used these folders, these like pocket dividers, to keep my master copies, but I had reading and math going on in here, and so it's a little bit different. What I did, what I'm planning to do now, and I might have to do that this afternoon because it's just already 7:40, but is I have, where are they? I have divider tabs. Oh, they're on my desk. Divider tabs, this is kind of interesting. They're write and erase, so you should be able to like write something on it and then erase it and reuse the tabs. But I think I'm gonna do these by standard, and then I'm gonna put a clear pocket behind each one to hold the materials that I made. So I pulled these intervention lessons from Lexia, which is a program my school uses, so I cannot share them. But if you have Lexia, there's lots of great close reads that you can use. So I found one that was like, here was a text that focused on central idea, and I went ahead and printed all of the resources so that when I'm ready to teach an intervention lesson on central idea, everything is right here. I also did that with theme, and I did that with analyzing characters. I even made the vocabulary cards, everything. So they're kind of like grab and go intervention lessons that I've already like taken time to look through. So that's kind of exciting, and I'm planning to make that binder this morning. Other than that, we're starting our new unit, so I can kind of show you what we're doing. We're working on text features, as I mentioned earlier, so I'll show you like my reading slides because I like to show those, and then I think I'll make that binder and get started. Here are my reading slides for today. We're going to explain how text features contribute to meaning, and we're not looking at text structures yet. We'll do text structures later in the year, but there's our text structures for informational texts. Our agenda, we've got new vocabulary. We're still doing possessive nouns and grammar. We're working on informational text features, and then scholastic nonfiction. Also before this, we're going to do word study, and our word study for today is past tense verbs. So I think that will be a very meaningful activity as well. I can show you that in a little bit. So we've got our vocabulary words. I like to keep the gray box on there because it covers all the words, so we do them one at a time. We'll write those down in our vocabulary notebooks. We write them just like I write them up there on like the piece of notebook paper. It's nice notebook paper practice. Then we have a little review because we did possessives last week, and some of them did really well on the test and some of them not so much. So we're gonna do this like together, like a guided practice. I think we may just do the front side together, and then maybe at the end I'll let them go back and finish it, or have them finish it during our intervention time today. So that was just a review because this week we're working on plural possessives. So it's still like the apostrophe, but you don't have to add the S because the S is already there for a plural noun. But I figured reviewing the singular possessive would be good to do before we do the plural possessive this week. So that's just a quick little review, and we'll probably do that on whiteboards depending on how much time we have. Then we're going to go over informational texts. We've already kind of talked about them on Pirate Day, but we'll talk about them again. We're going to go over text features. I also have no idea why all the fonts are different sizes. I copy and paste this from like our student book, all the words that are on this side, and for some reason when I go to reformat it, it's all different sizes, but whatever. It's just there for me to go through, not really for the students. Then we're going to go through text features, talk about different examples of text features, and then we're going to do a text feature hunt where each table group I think is going to get 2 scholastics to sit on their table group, and they're going to get a Ziploc baggie with all of these text features. Let me see, I think that's the end. Yeah, let me show you this at the table. All right, so I'm just gonna show this to you over here, and my table is now a hot mess, but I use this like scholastic on sharks because it's very engaging and they love it. And we look at all the different text features. These are from when I taught first grade, and I just would laminate them after we use them to use for future lessons. So we'll kind of go through and we'll identify some of the text features, and I have these printed out in baggies, and so I will and this will be up on the board. So we'll look for specific text features, and then I think what I'll do is I'll tape it. I'll probably need to print one more for myself, is I think I'll like tape it on the magazine, like next to the caption. I'll tape next to a caption, etc. So I'm like labeling them, because then with their group, I'm gonna give each group 2 of these at their table. They're also gonna get a bag, and they're gonna have like a few minutes to take the text features out of the bag and place them on the Scholastic next to the feature that they see. So for example, if it has a bold word, they're gonna put bold word like on top of the bold word. And then I might have them rotate to another table just to do the activity again. So kind of like a scavenger hunt, where they're taking text features out of the bag and just placing them on the text feature in the Scholastic. So I thought that might be a little bit more engaging, something to get them up and moving out of their seat. But I'm gonna model it with the shark one so they can kind of see what we're doing. And that's it. This is the past tense verbs that we're working on. I think today we're gonna talk about how you add ed at the end to make it like to show that it happened in the past, but also talk about the 3 sounds that ed makes, because it can make just the d, the ed, or the t sound. And I think today we're gonna go through and like color code the different sounds that we hear. So like rolled, you just hear the d at the end, and you don't hear, and like squinted, you hear ed. So I think we'll like pick a color crayon for each of those sounds that we hear, and then we'll read through the list together and color them in. So I think that's what we're gonna do, because that's what makes this a hard skill, is they make different sounds, but you just have to know that it's ed every time. So I guess I'm gonna get started with printing another set of these and cutting it. Transportation change. I'll get like started with cutting that so it's ready for the example, and just kind of go over my plans, think about them, and maybe make this binder. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and sip on my coffee. Pumpkin spice, y'all. So good. Oh my gosh, so good. All right, that's all I have for today. I'll check in with you guys at the end of the day and let you know how those things go. Y'all, I am almost ready to head home, which is fantastic. It's only 3:56, so that's not too late, especially because I had afternoon duty today. But I'm so tired today, so tired. I think Mondays are hard because I'm just like trying to pull it together myself and get myself to snap out of it and back into it. But I'm also trying to do that for the kids, like pull them back into it, and it's just hard. But my lesson went all right. I'll be honest, it was just all right. But they didn't want to write the vocabulary words. Complained every word. Oh, writing vocabulary. And I'm like, oh, it's just 5 words. It's just 5 words. You just got to do it. I was like, one day you'll get to 4th grade and you'll be begging to come back to 3rd grade and do writing in here, because you'll realize this really wasn't that much. And that was it. It was just the vocabulary writing in the beginning of the block, and then they didn't have to write the rest of the block. I'm like, and I told them that too. I was like, look, this is where you do your writing, and then when you're done, you're done. And it just, you know, some of them cared, some of them didn't. So that was one thing. And then I'm leaning back in my chair, so please forgive me. I'm getting comfortable here. That was one thing. And then the rest, it was okay. But there was just a lot of talking during directions, which was slightly irritating, very irritating. And I was like, okay, I can't even get a thought out here without somebody interrupting with a sound or with a noise, or by just having a full-blown conversation right over me. And I'm like, what is happening? So hopefully tomorrow that will be better. But we did get to the activity with the nonfiction text features for my first block. We got to it with both blocks, but my second block, my second block is longer, and we barely had time to do this activity, if that tells you how many times we had to like stop and redirect. Oh my goodness. But they did really well with their word study. I guess I can show you what that looked like. Let me get my word study folder. All right, so we put the word study words in our folder today, and then we worked on color coding them based on the sound that we heard at the end. So if the ed made the d sound, I colored it green, ed was blue, and t was pink, and I thought they did a really good job with that. So it was good. It was good phonemic awareness practice. And then they had to read the word and listen to the sound at the end. So we just did 3 lines. I think tomorrow I'll have them do like the next 3 on their own, where they take out the same colors and use the color code. So that went well. That also took some time at the beginning. So I won't lie, like the word study took some time on the forefront because it was a Monday and it was the first day I introduced the skill. So that could have played a factor into it as well. But my block 1 really rocked the nonfiction text feature hunt with like putting the pictures on it. I even did an example with the shark one. It's right up here on the board. So here was my example where we like read the nonfiction together and we taped the text feature on it. And I'm gonna leave that up there to display. I kind of need to move this because this is all of our fiction skills and we're done with fiction for now, for like the next 3 weeks, and then we'll jump back to it just to do descriptive language. But for now we're taking a pause from fiction and moving to informational. So I kind of need to take that informational one down. Or not information, I need to take that fiction chart for note taking with problem, solution, characters, content, all of those things. I probably should move it to be like in front of my TV. I could make it cuter though and do like fiction skills or taking notes on a fiction text or something, but I just don't have the energy today. So yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow will be unique because we've got like a special training for a field trip that we have. We're doing like a field trip later in the fall, and there's like a precursor training that the students do beforehand, and we're doing it all together, I guess in my room, tomorrow from 9 to 10. So my first block is literally just going to be reading the story. That's all we're going to have time for. And that's okay. It'll be fine. It is what it is. And I have a conference in the morning, so hopefully I'll get here early enough to check in with you guys in the morning before that conference. But I'm gonna go home because I have Bible study at my house tonight and I need to vacuum the living room and just make sure everything is good to go there before our first Bible study of the fall semester, which will be fun. But overall, it was a decent Monday. I didn't have time, I'm seeing now, for that pencil sharpener. I'm gonna have to open it tomorrow and try it out. But I'm heading home. Hello, happy Tuesday. I have not checked in all day today because I had a parent conference this morning. So when I got here, I was just, having my little Zen moment, making sure everything was prepared, even though I prepared everything yesterday. So like I knew it was prepared. Let me change the camera angle, but I was just making sure that I was like feeling good, ready to go for this parent conference. And then we taught all day, except this morning during my block 1, we had a space training that we're going to do like a field trip later in the year. And they're going to do like a space mission. It's a STEAM field trip. And so one of the people from the place that we're going came and did like a mini space training. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I mean, like had all the bells and whistles and contraptions and talked about air pressure and did demonstrations and called the kids to volunteer. I mean, it was a blast. We just loved it. But that took up my whole morning block, and then I got my afternoon block in. So that's kind of what my day looks like today. As far as my afternoon block goes, I guess let me show you what I did real quick so you can be up to speed. All right, these were our slides for today. It's kind of what our agenda looks like. So we went over our vocabulary words, which we wrote down yesterday. Just a brief review. We did some grammar practice. I actually did what I was supposed to do on Monday for grammar practice because Monday I did not get to the slides. So I taught them about plural possessive nouns and why like the S has to stay with the noun. So the noun stays plural and we just add the apostrophe at the end. And we practiced that on whiteboards. Then we reviewed informational texts. I talked about the difference between the two. Again, I've been talking about it every single day. And then we started our weekly story. Before we started our weekly story though, we did background knowledge about deserts. That's over here. I'm pretty proud of like what my little wall looks like because we're reading informational text. So I did background knowledge. There's what we did yesterday with text features. And then we read through our text and we marked the text features that were inside. We did not make it all the way through that text, however, because it is so long. Honestly, this one is not one of my favorites. Living in deserts. The kids seemed pretty interested and engaged in it today because there are some parts that are cool, like when they live in the houses that are underground and all this stuff, you know, but like it's just a really long text. And I don't like that it's so long because it takes forever to get through. And I'm like, okay, we get the point. Like we're going through, we're finding text features, but it's okay. So we didn't finish it. I started the text with my block 1 class during our social studies time today too, because I didn't want them to fall super behind in language arts, but we didn't finish it with them either. So there's that. Then the interesting thing, I actually had a vlog that was just like this last year. There's a hurricane coming, and so therefore school will be a half day tomorrow and canceled on Thursday and Friday. I'm pretty sure I had a vlog like this at the end of August last year, where the week was cut short due to a hurricane. I got to tell the kids all of that. I know for a fact there's going to be kids who are not here tomorrow. I sent out an email. Oh, that was very sweet. I sent out an email to all the parents saying like, hey, this is when it's canceled. This is what we're rescheduling because we were supposed to have Rock Your School and Picture Day, and Kona Ice was coming out, and homework is due on Fridays, and our after school programs will be dismissing differently. So I tried to send everything in one email and then send out a reminder that was like, hey, check your email because I just sent a lot of information. And one parent just said, thank you for your organization skills. You rock. That was so sweet. Actually, that just made my heart smile. So I'm sitting up here. My counter is just full of makeup work. So if any of these students are here tomorrow, that's going to be my number 1 goal, is to knock out some of that makeup work. But I'm just sitting here trying to get stuff together before I leave. David's at the house. He's working on like hurricane proofing some things like our shed, etc. So yeah, welcome to teaching in Florida during hurricane season. I've gotten so many texts and emails and messages from people today like, hey, the storm's coming. What is your school doing? I'm like, I don't know. And so I'm trying, now I know. And so I'm trying to like respond to those people, and lots of people have offered like, if you need to come to my place who don't live here in Florida, they're like, you can come visit us, blah, blah, blah. So thank you for everybody who's reached out. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Gosh, that space training was just so fun. So that's what's on my brain the most. And getting all of this stuff squared away, if that makes sense. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited to have some, I'm praying that the storm does not impact our area, but I'm excited to just get some rest and some time to read and relax. Maybe I'll get ahead on some slides and making some assessments or adjusting some assessments. But yeah, that's all I've got update-wise for y'all. Sorry I didn't pick you up this morning, but my parent conference went well. It was great. And I felt very prepared, and I just needed the morning to myself to feel very prepared for it. I'm wearing my wonderful It's Teacher T-shirt Tuesday. I'm probably gonna wear a t-shirt tomorrow too because it's a half day, let's be real. But this is the one from Hobby Lobby. Love it. And I'm wearing my Old Navy jeans. So here, maybe we can look at the outfit in the mirror. All right, ignore the giant tripod, but here's the outfit of the day: the Hobby Lobby tee, the Old Navy high-waisted wide leg jeans, the Converse, and then I'm wearing a necklace. I got the charms from Amazon, and the chain is from Ana Luisa. And yeah, I've enjoyed it. I also wore my hair straight for the first time in like a long time, and some of my kids noticed my haircut, which was sweet. But I've been curling it like every single day lately, but I straightened it yesterday. You probably noticed that yesterday though. That's all I have to say about my outfit. So the rest of my day looks like packing up my things, going home, and we're just gonna have to figure out tomorrow when tomorrow comes, because we're just taking it one day at a time here in the great state of Florida during hurricane season.